So having heard Dr. Raj say that even better nutrition will result in better standards of living, not just giving them money, but just improve their health and they'll be better citizens. So let me just take that a little further. And since you did say that, Doc, what is your assessment of the present healthcare system as you see it in this country? Is it good, being delivered as the government or the experts have planned it, or is there a lot of slippage in between?
Oh, that's a big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of ways you can answer that, but I'll try. Now, healthcare in this country can be broadly divided into two or perhaps three sectors. You have the large government public funded healthcare system, which at least on paper is wonderful. You have the big teaching hospitals in the major cities, you have the district headquarters hospital, and then the more smaller units in the periphery. So in theory you should be able to refer
it's like a hub
patients.
and spoke.
Yes, that's the arrangement which is on paper, and to some extent it does work very well. On the other hand, we also have an alternative system where we have the private practitioners, and in that there are two categories. One is the largely disorganized private practitioners who may not even be fully qualified in the conventional
but you're okay with
courses. Well, we'll come to that in a moment. But they are this biggish group of people who are largely taking care of healthcare in the rural area. They may be traditional practitioners of medicine and so on. And then we have on the other end of the spectrum the large corporate hospitals, which are extremely well equipped and well manned. So there are also these kind of charitable institutions, mission hospitals and so forth, which have played a very large role in the older days, but maybe beginning to lose their relevance slightly of late.
Why is that so?
Partly because
others have stepped in?
Yeah, partly because the government sector has actually improved their own services and the private medical care stepped in, so they are kind of squeezed in the middle really.
One of the few times I'm hearing anybody say anything nice about how the government runs anything. Mostly they say, oh, the government stepped in and ruined it. But they seem to have delivered pretty well in
certainly
healthcare.
I can say for Tamilnadu, I think over the years the government's healthcare has improved markedly, and I can quote my own experience in that. I run a chess foundation, a kind of charitable thing, and we ran a free private, free clinic. In a village beyond Kanchipuram. And what initially we found was that there was a need, maybe several years ago, but over the years we found that actually the need became less because the government hospital in Cheyyar and various other places, they began to improve their reach. The bus service improved, so people could just buy a ticket and go to the nearest
not walk
hospital.
To the doctor and die on the way.
Exactly. So overall socio-economic improvement has definitely improved the quality of government-funded free healthcare, at least in Tamil Nadu. I can't say that for the entire country.
Okay, so when you say government doing this kind of, is it what level of work is this? I mean, like serious medical attention or routine checkups and just keeping the citizens in a reasonably good shape? What form does it take? Is it like curing or is it like preventative?
Well, no, see, the predominant, the major proportion of diseases and healthcare support is actually on a very minimal level. You need basic healthcare to deal with most of the problems in healthcare that we have in our country. It'll be simple coughs and cold. The largest cause of death in our country is just respiratory infection, which you and I just take for granted.
And which you are specialized in.
Exactly.
That is good choice.
Yeah, but that's a big killer among children in this country. So,
what is diphtheria? Is that part of this
well, that's
breathing?
an infection in the throat, yeah.
Yeah.
So, these are all infective diseases which can actually be prevented to a large extent and can be treated with very little cost.
And are they fatal if not treated?
If not treated, they can be fatal. And if you already have malnutrition and if you're in a congested area, you're not able to look after the children for various reasons, then the mortality rate goes up. And so these are all things which can be dealt with very little input. Now, when you're thinking of complicated diseases like complicated coronary artery disease or complicated lung surgery or something, then we are getting into the more specialized services, which obviously will not be available.
So this present government thing they're talking about sending doctors straight out of medical school into the rural areas and say go practice out there. You have to, otherwise you will not be given your degree or something like that. Wouldn't that be the right thing? Because whatever you say that the people in this rural areas are looking for is simple elementary healthcare, not really serious stuff.
Right.
For that they will come to the big hospitals which are in the cities.
Yeah.
So won't it make it, is this in action now? I mean, all doctors, do they have to go in rural areas?
Not in all the medical colleges, but I must say that like the Christian Medical College Hospital, for instance, then part of the course will be to take community training. And you do have to work in community hospitals and in community centers where you have a better feel for what is really required, and that's part of your education. But I don't see medical students who are paid large sums of money to get into private medical colleges opting to go and sit in a village, when his plan might be to join a corporate hospital or even to go abroad. So I don't think that can be uniformly implemented throughout across the board, but there is a need for turning out graduates who are familiar, who are aware of the healthcare problems in rural India
areas,
and how to tackle simple medical problems. And I think that may be partly an administrative problem rather than a medical one.
So you heard the doctor. We'll go into the last segment and we'll get some concrete suggestions from him. And what does he think we ought to be doing, or what the government should be doing, and listening to people like him, and they probably get better policies in place. So we'll see you after the break.